I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Music Theory Tuition series where I work with you step by step through the ABRSM Discovering Music Theory grades. I'll work through every single exercise and explain everything you need to know. You can access information about the books I have available to help you on my website. Go to sharonbill.com. For advert-free and longer lessons, you can become a patron at patreon.com/SharonBill. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to stay updated. You can support this channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/SharonBill. Moving on to page 41 of the Grade 5 Discovering Music Theory workbook, we're getting lots and lots of practice at naming intervals, and it really is just a matter of taking your time and getting lots and lots of practice. Always work in pencil, and then it doesn't matter if it goes wrong. You can learn by your mistakes. It's much better to learn that way. You learn much more thoroughly, so don't worry if there's some mistakes occurring along the way. We've got lots of practice and you will get used to it. And so now we have the opportunity to name these intervals. These are compound intervals, but it doesn't change anything from what we've learned already. You always treat the lower note as the tonic, and then you apply the key signature as you would accidentals. And so you make sure you're reading the right notes in the right clef, applying the key signature. The next thing to do is work out the interval number so you don't get confused with enharmonic equivalents, and that's half the job done then. And then we do any chromatic adjustments as necessary. And if we need to extend it by an octave, you can then just add the word compound to extend it, or you can then count the intervals to give it its full kind of interval number. And so for here example, we're starting on G, so we treat G as our tonic. This is a note C, so let's just drop it down an octave, and then we can see that it's a 1, 2, 3, 4th. It's a fourth, but it's a compound fourth, and therefore it must be perfect. G to C, nothing's been altered, it's exactly as it should be. G major has F sharps, and that's not relating to this note at all. It's a perfect fourth, or you could think it's a perfect 11th, but the important thing is to know that perfect applies in this case. Always counting the lowest number, and so now let's look at this. Here we have a D flat here in the bass clef, and here we have a G, so I'm going to just drop this down the octave and counting upwards 1, 2, 3, 4, that's a fourth, so we should be thinking in perfect intervals as it starts. However, so D to G would be a perfect fourth, but we've made it bigger because we're actually going to D flat. So we've gone from perfect and we've extended that interval, so it's gone from perfect to augmented. So it's either a compound augmented fourth because that D flat is extended, or you could just say augmented 11ths. You can double check that because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But the important part is knowing that it's gone from perfect to augmented. So here, let's see what notes we've got here. This is a C, D, E. And then I'm going to jump the octave here because it's hard to read down here in a clef I'm not familiar with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so here we have a C, B, A flat. And so this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, a fifth should be perfect if everything's correct as it should be, but A flat to E flat, if you think A flat major has B flats, E flats, A flats and D flats, so it should be E flat to be perfect, and actually it's an E natural because there's no flat present, and so here we can see it's bigger because there's no flat, it's E natural, and so a perfect fifth made greater becomes an augmented fifth. So it's a compound augmented fifth, or we could say it's an augmented 12th. It's just remembering that we need to start off with perfect because 4th, 5th are perfect, 11th, 12th are perfect. And so perhaps you can try some of these on your own now, hoping that you've had a little go of that. So we'll work through these together now. So here on D, let's see what letter names we've got here. We've got a C, B, A, G, and then this is C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat. So I'm going to drop this down an octave, and so think this is a C, this is B, a B flat. And so that's a 1, 2, 3. G something to B something is a 1, 2, 3. A third G to B natural would be major, because G major would have B naturals. G minor has B flats. We've made the major interval smaller, and that's a minor third. So we could either think compound minor third, or you could say a minor tenth, because count from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a tenth, but we need to know whether we're starting at the major point or perfect and so on. And so that's why I find the compound approach easier, and I can just finish this little bit. So here we have an A, and here we have a G flat. So I'm going to drop this G flat down an octave, and we can see that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now then, taking the lower note as our tonic, A to G sharp should be major, because A major has a key signature of F, C, G sharps. So G sharp would be major, G natural would be minor, and so G flat is making it smaller again. We've diminished the interval further, so we've gone diminished. So we've gone from a 7th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th, and we've worked away from major, minor, diminished. So we have a diminished 7th. Alternatively, you could think, well, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14th. It's a diminished 14th. Let's carry on. So here we have an E and a C. Let's drop this down an octave, and that gives us a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th. So that's half the work done. Now, if we're thinking the lowest note is our tonic, E major would require a C sharp because it has a key signatures of F, C, G, D sharps. However, there is no C sharp, so we've gone from major to minor. And so it's a minor interval, it's a minor 6th, it's a compound minor 6 because we've got that extra octave, or it's a minor 13th, because if you're counting from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th. So here we have a G sharp because of our key signature, and here we have an A double sharp. So we're going to have to do a little bit of adjusting, and it's easier, I find, to count from G and then adjust from the edges. Let's just knock this down an octave though, so we've got at least that less to think about. So G something to A something is a 1, 2. It's a second of some sort. Now, G to A is major. So G sharp to A sharp is also major, just parallel movement. We can see full tone, G sharp to A sharp, full tone. However, it's A double sharp, so we've gone from major to augmented. I just find it easier starting from G because G sharp to A sharp is perhaps a tricky key to start with. However, we can see it's a full step, it's a full tone, which is a major second, and then we've augmented it, so it's an augmented second. Alternatively, we can then go on and give it the full interval 1, 2, so because it's compound, isn't it? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a ninth, so it's an augmented ninth. Same thing as a compound augmented second. Let's press on. And so if you haven't done so already, please do just try these last few. And I think we're getting the hang of this now for sure. So let's check through this final few together. So this is a C, D, E, and of course it's E flats because we have a key signature of B flats and E flats. That's an E flat. And then this note here, which is unbelievably high to read with all these ledger lines. I'm just going to knock it down an octave to start with because I'm not comfortable in this clef anyway. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 takes us to here, which is an E, F, G, and it's sharpened. So let's think about this. We could do this two ways. So first of all, we know it's a 1, 2, 3. It's a compound third of some sort. So we can do this two ways. We can either think, well, E to G sharp is major, and then we've dropped it down to E flat, and so we've made it bigger, so that's augmented. Or you could think, well, I know my scale of E flat major, G would be a major third, E flat to G flat is a major third, and then I've raised it by a sharp, so I've augmented it, so it's an augmented third. It's a compound augmented third, which equates to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, an augmented tenth. We're getting there. Let's carry on. So in the bass clef, this is a B, which is flattened because of our key signature applying. And then here, this is a C, E, G. We've obviously exceeded an octave here, so let's just drop this down an octave. So that gets rid of the compound for now, just to make it easier to think. And this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a compound sixth of some sort, which is going to mean it's a 13th. We'll count that in a second to double check. Now B flat major has a key signature of B flats and E flats. And B flat to G is a major 6, so it's a compound major 6. Nothing else has been changed, so it can stay as a compound major 6th or a major 13th. So we're not worried about perfects because that only applies to 4th, 5th and octave. So we just stay in a major, and we can just double check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's correct. And finally, back into the tenor clef here. So this is a C, D, E, F, G, A sharp. We start with the lower note as the tonic, and this note here, let's move up an octave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so here this is a C, D, E. And so E to A is a 1, 2, 3, 4th of some sort. So we know we've sort of got to deal with perfects, not major minor. Now, E sharp's a hard note to start from, but we know that E to A is a perfect fourth, and so E sharp to A sharp, just a parallel movement, it's still a perfect fourth, so nothing changed there. Perfect fourth, or that would mean perfect 11th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's correct. And that's that page completed. I hope this is helpful to your studies. Please do like and subscribe to stay updated. If you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee. And for advert-free lessons, you can become a patron. Do visit my website where you'll find many resources available to help you. Visit sharonbill.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.